Today we'll take on a Mai Tai riff that uses Amaro. This is across the Pacific. This drink was created by Megan Dorman, who's a beverage director at the Rains Law Room. Its big difference from the Mai Tai we are used to is the addition of Amaro. In this instance, we're using Averna. And if you're someone not really into Amari and don't even really know where to start, Averna's a pretty solid option. It's approachable, it's versatile, and it comes up a lot in cocktails, including the Permanent Holiday Cocktail, which is one of my absolute all-time favorite drinks. And that's for a bunch of reasons, but mainly I think it's due to the Averna. It's really the easiest way to completely transform a drink in a very simple way. So no orange curacao today, but the rest is relatively standard. We'll be using Smith & Cross and Appleton 8 for our rums, and then I'm just using my standard orgeat. But before we make this drink, today's video is brought to us by ZBiotics. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking, and here is how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, as always, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. If you are interested in picking up some ZBiotics, check the description or use a QR code that's on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order. Plus, ZBiotics offers a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're not satisfied for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. So, let's make this drink. We're going to build it in a shaker tin, starting with 3/4 ounces of lime juice, 3/4 ounces of orgeat, 1/2 ounce of Averna, 1/2 ounce of Smith & Cross rum, and 1 ounce of Appleton 8. I'm going to garnish this with a slice of lime and some grated nutmeg. Now, it doesn't call for mint, but I have so much mint right now, I'm just going to use it because it just makes it look pretty. So there you go, across the Pacific. Let's try it. Cheers. I find it a touch sweet. And some people might find it to be perfect. Some people might find it to be way too sweet. I think that when you're looking at Mai Tais or rips, or really anything that calls for a syrup, but in this case, let's talk about orgeat. We don't necessarily know what orgeat they used. The specific recipe I found, which was from like 2020, didn't say which orgeat they used, but they could have a 1-to-1 orgeat. And in that case, you would want to use less of your 2-to-1 orgeat. Now, having said that, I still can taste the rum. I can still taste the Averna, and it's surprisingly so close to a Mai Tai, but it has this different depth and character and richness. And honestly, like if you just served this to me and didn't tell me what it was, I would just probably tell you it's a Mai Tai with like a really bold intensity to it, and I would have a hard time figuring out where that's coming from. I would probably just assume it's the rum. But it's the Averna. So you're removing that orange curacao, which on its own is sweeter. I think it's sweeter or has more sugar than Averna. But Averna has some bitter notes. It also has some of that orange notes in there. It's a very approachable Amaro, and it adds like this deep, rich molasses spice, allspice, cinnamon, clove. The spectrum of flavors that we really do associate, not with the Mai Tai, but just with the category of tiki cocktails in general. So there's a familiarity to it. And this is such a little nitpicky thing for me to even bring up, but I feel like it's worth reiterating. I did a video many months ago that not a lot of people watch, but a video about nugget ice and how temperature of your ice affects the dilution. And the consensus of that is the same as what Dave Arnold did when he did it with regular ice, is that the temperature doesn't matter. So the temperature of your ice, whether it's like mine, which is like 0 to -10 degrees Fahrenheit in my freezer over here, or you're at a bar and that bar is pulling ice out of their well that is 32 degrees. It's not any colder than that. It's 32 degrees. But that nugget ice or regular ice has so much surface water on it that when you put it in a cocktail, you're getting that surface water in the cocktail. That helps dilute it. And this has been out now for like, I don't know, at least 5 minutes. And as there's dilution there, some of that intensity, I got to first, the sweetness and the intense flavors is being diluted. Because my drinks that I make here on YouTube are going to be a little bit stronger than a drink from a bar at first, because my ice does not have the surface water on it, where a bar has surface water. How much that is, it's hard to say. You can rewatch that video to get more insights to that. But there is a difference. So one of the things that I think I tell myself to sort of be able to maybe even justify it is like, first, I'm not going to pull ice out before I make a video and have it sit there and melt. But I also don't drink the drink right away. It's the behind the scenes here of YouTube. I make it, I take pictures of it, I take a little bit of B-roll of it for the recipe card and whatnot. Sometimes it's like a minute or two passes. Sometimes it might be 10 minutes. Over that time, my drink is diluting. So I always like to argue to myself or justify to myself that my drink is catching back up to where a bar would serve you a drink. All of this, though, is completely irrelevant because it's personal preference, how much diluted your drink is, how cold your drink is, whatever it is. But as this gets a little bit more dilution, it's less sweet. And I find that initial reaction I had, which was, this is like a touch too sweet, I don't feel that way now. This really is delicious. I really do love this. And I think you should try this if you have Averna. And if you don't have any Amari at home, maybe go out and find some Averna. But if you have other Amaro at home, then maybe try that. This kind of opens up a lot to those of you out there that maybe have a couple of bottles of Amaro, don't know what to do with them. Put them in a Mai Tai. Replace the orange curacao. I mean, people have been doing this forever. You put banana in there instead of orange curacao, or you put some other fruit or liqueur in there to just slightly tweak something, because you know that the backbone of it is something that you like. You know that the backbone of a Mai Tai with, rum and orgeat and lime juice is something that you like. So just swap out the liqueur and play with different things. In this case, we're not just swapping it in for another liqueur, but in Amaro, and in this case, Averna. It is delicious. It is rich and bold and tons of depth and character and caramel and molasses and all these things that you would associate with certain kinds of rum. You're getting not from the rum, and you're still getting that a little bit of that Jamaican character, a little bit from Appleton, quite a bit from Smith & Cross, but then you're getting that richness from the Averna. That is it for this one, Across the Pacific. And I'm just remembering something that's probably like super nerdy. I don't even know where I heard this from. But the Rains Law Room, Garrett Richard used to do pop-ups there, like a tiki pop-up, tropical pop-ups. And I remember him saying in an interview somewhere, he has a whole Spotify playlist, Exotica Spotify playlist that he put together. It's on Spotify, which I don't use, but I was looking at it today. There's just like hours and hours and hours of exotic music. So if you're a Spotify user and you want to set the scene for your bar or party or whatever, go check that out. The Exotica Rains Law. Let me look it up. It's Exotica at Rains Law Room. So if you're looking to get inspired with some music to mix it up, go check that out. Lots and lots and lots of songs there. And this would be a great cocktail to break in that playlist. It's really delicious. It is very delicious in such a simple, tiny little tweak. And then if you get that bottle of Averna, you can use it to make this, a bunch of other stuff, but also the permanent holiday cocktail, which I absolutely love. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below, consider subscribing to this channel, and if you want to support this channel more, check out my Patreon page. Otherwise, see you on the next one.